The Valley High School Hall of Honor, established in 2018, annually recognizes, preserves, and honors alumni, staff, community members, and volunteers for their significant contributions to their field, the West Des Moines community, and the Valley family. May their accomplishments serve as examples for others to emulate. Scott Hatfield, Class of 1968, Alumni Inductee.
I have really fond memories of Valley High School. I grew up in the historic West Des Moines area, lived there most all of my life except when I went to Iowa State. At Valley, in particular, I participated in a number of activities. My favorite activity, though, was art, and I had an opportunity to do the portraits of 6 of my fellow classmates that were the individual sections in the annual. In my art class, Mrs. Hine was the art teacher. She was notified that a local real estate company was sponsoring a house design competition. I was fortunate enough to win the competition, and there was a small scholarship that went with it, and it was kind of the motivator primarily for me to decide to go to Iowa State and study architecture. I was the first class, 1968, that graduated from what was then the new Valley High School. The original Valley High School there was actually done by Savage, Verpluga and Associates, which the SVPA stands for. After graduating from Iowa State in architecture, I was fortunate enough to come to work for Savage, Verpluga or SVPA Architects. It was at Savage, Verpluga and Associates that I was encouraged to get more involved in the community by the 2 founding principals, Bob Savage and Stan Verpluga. Through the years, I've received a number of awards, but probably the most meaningful one was the West Des Moines Citizen of the Year in 2010. And of course, through the years, I had an opportunity, again with Dale Grabinski's encouragement, to work on several projects for West Des Moines schools, some addition work on 3 elementary schools, Clegg Park, and Rex Mathis and Fair Meadows, and then some interior design work at Valley High School. Get involved in community activities to help others, seek positive role models, and ultimately become a role model yourself, and really socialize and become more knowledgeable about your community.
Sam Kranovich, Class of 1973, Alumni Inductee.
There's no way that you can sum up what Sam does for Valley High School, or what he means for Valley High School, in one sitting. Sam has done everything at Valley High School.
Well, favorite things at Valley, when I was in high school, I was in the Valley March Masters. I was part of the Valley Auditorium when it was first built, the old auditorium. And for the first production was Brigadoon, which is what they're doing this year. But we were waiting to start painting backdrops, and the director, Bob Steele, got 4 or 5 of us, said, go help unload a truck. Well, the truck was a semi and was all the chairs for the new auditorium. So we had to unload that. So that was a work, but it was fun because we were part of something new at Valley.
The PAC was being built, and they were getting ready to demo the old auditorium. Sam and I were standing outside the auditorium as they were removing all the chairs from the auditorium and loading them on the semi. And Sam said to me, Dave, I helped load these chairs in to the auditorium. And he saw the entire lifespan of the auditorium, from when the seats came in to when the seats came out. He ran lights and sound in the auditorium for all of those years. He knows where parts of the building used to exist and whose room used to be where before all the renovations we've had.
I've seen probably 15 to 20 different remodeling of this building. I grew up here, so I know a lot of people. The kids I've got now, I had their parents or grandparents when I first started. The grandparents graduated with me, so 40 years, that's almost 24,000 kids that have gone through the building.
One of the original planners behind the Hall of Honor, his name is Phil Peters. He was a former orchestra teacher. Said that when they were planning the Hall of Honor, Sam Kranovich was one of those individuals that had to be in the Hall of Honor because of everything he has done for Valley High School. He is one of the most humble, self-sacrificing individuals that Valley High School has ever seen. He truly is one of my most trusted friends.
Jim and Cindy Lamson, staff inductees.
You know, I don't think that the Valley Hall of Honor would be complete without Jim and Cindy Lamson. They embody everything that is right about Valley High School.
Jim and Cindy Lamson were like a surrogate father and mother to me. I had my mom and dad at home who fed me, clothed me, took care of me. And then I had the Lamsons here who watched over me, taught me, fed me mentally, spiritually, taught me a work ethic as a student that I carried over into my years as a tech director and into my life, to where you don't leave a job undone, you don't not finish something you start.
Jim and Cindy Lamson made Valley Drama a family. Not only because their own daughters were a part of it, but with the help of Jay Andrews in his technical theater expertise, and just all the people that were involved in all the various plays and one-acts. They were just able to make this really large school a very small place for many of us. And it was a home for us all.
This space provided an opportunity for students with a myriad of talents, not just the actors, but the people who were really good at building sets or marketing the show or working on costumes or props. And it allowed all of those skills and talented people to come together and create some wonderful productions.
Jim and Cindy Lamson were like the embodiment of the 4A's, Dr. Brooks' 4A's. The arts, athletics, academics, and activities. They were a part of all of that. Jim was instrumental in the golf program here at Valley High School. In fact, I think they even have an invitational named in his honor.
The beautiful thing about the productions, and I think this is true with the Baker's Dozen also, is that everybody felt a part of it. Now, you may be a person that just comes out and changes scenery and does it quietly and efficiently and so on and so forth, but you're a part of the show. And nobody's going to treat you like you're any less than the lead. And there was a beautiful cohesiveness there that I love. The people, that's the key. And she was alluding to that, but during the day goes by that I don't think of relationships, hundreds and hundreds of kids.
They both were, obviously huge into the arts and helped out so many people in their careers and just as people. They really created a family atmosphere here at Valley with the Valley Drama Department. And those of us who were lucky enough to get involved benefited immensely and continue to this day. And they're really just absolutely special people.
Tom George, class of 1958, volunteer inductee.
I started Valley in fall of 1954 and graduated in May of 1958. I was involved in football, basketball, baseball. When I was a freshman at Valley, we were the state champions, and we had never been state champions since. I got started in senior league, coaching 13 to 15-year-old kids, and I used to practice at the barn. There was a big effort to push for a new baseball field because we were having all kinds of problems with the old one. There was a committee formed, and I was on the committee. And Steve Moore was also, who's the baseball coach at the time, was also on the committee. And he said, you know, there's this new deal about you can become a coach if you take some courses and get a coaching authorization. So that's what I did, and I started coaching in 1987. 1995, it kind of changed. In terms of a record, a mediocre season, but we finished real strong, got better every game. The kids worked hard, but came tournament time, we did it with pitching and mediocre defense and some timely hitting. 40 years after I'd won as a student, it meant a lot to me. But then we got started, we appeared in the state tournament in 96, 99. Then we had the 4-year run starting in 03, 04, 05, 06. There's no run like 4. Nobody's beaten that one yet. Probably one thing that most people complained about the most about playing for me was I made them work a lot harder than they wanted to. Valley, when I grew up, 100 kids per class. Small town attitude, next to big town attitude, a lot of rivalry there. So there was a lot of camaraderie in that small town. I don't know who came up with the 4 A's, but it means a lot if you've got a well-rounded education that you can excel in at least one of those areas and hopefully more than one. Work hard, seek your dream.
Congratulations to the 2022 class of Valley Hall of Honor inductees.